everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing a brand new event on Pokemon GO that's never been done before. It is Max Monday. Now Max Monday is an event that Niantic have added, and it's going to be featured mainly around the Dynamax Pokemon at this moment in time. No sort of insight whether they're going to do it for Gigantamax. I would probably guess that because of how difficult Gigantamax are to take down, that they'll remain as a weekend event every now and again. But Dynamax will have their own sort of raid hour, I suspect, every Monday, 6 PM till 7 PM, so the same time as raid hour is on a Wednesday. We will get this Dynamax sort of raid hour called Max Monday, and that will appear every day, every Monday, 6 PM till 7 PM. And it will have a featured Pokemon, different featured Pokemon every week, similar to raid hours. And today is the featured Pokemon of Charmander. So obviously Charmander was one of the first Dynamax Pokemon ever released, ever brought into the game by Niantic a few months ago. And it will be the first one to appear on this sort of event. So just before we do any of the event, obviously we're going to be walking around, so we are going to be putting on that daily incense for these first 10 15 minutes. We won't extend it today. We are running quite low on Dialga candy, but there's a bird off the incense. Unfortunately not the birds that we want to see, but still, nice little Noctowl there as the first spawn off the incense. But obviously the event's not started yet. We've got around about 8 minutes until the event kicks in. So as you can see in the top left-hand corner, we're about 8 minutes away from the 6 o'clock, and then hopefully these power spots that you can see around me here, they will all change to Charmander. Now I'm unsure whether it'll be like a raid hour where they'll only last for 25 minutes, then you have a 5-minute window, and then more appear on the same power spot, or if it's going to be just one Charmander for the whole hour. So we'll have to wait and see for that, on clarification of that. Some people, if you've been tuning in on other YouTube videos about this throughout today, then you might already know the answer to that question. But at this moment in time, we will just be doing the power spots that we can afford to do for free. We have got maxed out on the max particles there, so we are maxed out on that. So we'll be using those first. We have also got potentially another 140, so we could get another 120 by spinning another power spot, and then collect another 300 by doing the walking. So potentially we could do 5 or 6 of these max battles throughout the hour, so that'll be quite interesting to see how we get on. Well, this video sort of just brings a bit of light and a bit of clarity to this new feature on Pokemon GO. Perhaps not everybody will be doing it today, with it being a brand new feature, and obviously with it being Charmander. Charmander, like I say, has been around for quite some time now as a Dynamax Pokemon. So people might be a little bit put off with it obviously being Charmander, but next week will be really, really exciting. It's going to be the introduction of Drillbur as a Dynamax Pokemon, and of course you can get that shiny as well. So it's nice that all these Dynamax Pokemon can be shiny from the start, and we'll have to see how we get on with Dynamax Drillbur next week. So hoping to see a bit more better spawns off a daily incense while we're just walking down here waiting for this 6 o'clock time for the Dynamaxes to start. So definitely let me know in the comments down below if you've already done your Max Monday, or if you haven't done it, let me know down below how you found the event. This is definitely a Pokemon first. Obviously not a lot of people have already done it today in different time zones, but it is the first one of many Max Mondays coming up. Like I say, we've got Charmander today, we've got Drillbur next week, and then I believe we've got the other 2 Kanto starters at the end of November. So it will be interesting to see what else you bring out in the weeks to come. Now, if this is the first time you've joined the channel, then make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We will be going live again tomorrow. Tomorrow will, of course, be Spotlight Hour, and it is the brand new shiny Pokemon as released as part of the Harvest Festival event. It is Smoliv, which will be the featured Pokemon of tomorrow's Spotlight Hour. So definitely going to be shiny chasing that. We were lucky enough, if you've already seen the YouTube video short on my channel, we were lucky enough to get a shiny Smoliv 3rd click actually. So really lucky. Pretty much straight after the event started, we managed to get that shiny Smoliv on the 3rd one that we checked. So super lucky on that one. Obviously it's a full odds, 1 in 512 shiny chance for the shiny Smoliv. So we've got 3 more minutes until this brand new event on Pokemon starts. It'll be say what happens with these power spots and what sort of timers appear on top of them. Now, as we stand at the moment, all the Pokemon featured. The quality is shocking. Right, apologies about that. Hopefully we'll be walking to a bit better where the quality is a little bit better. So we'll head a bit further down here and hopefully the quality picks up. But just let me know in the comments down below if it's still a little bit bad. But we'll try and head down here. But yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens with these timers when we do spawn. Like I was just about to say, at the moment, no, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate the comments, even if it is letting me know about the quality, I appreciate that. But like I was saying, the Max Mondays that we've released, that we've announced so far, are all level 1 Dynamax battles. So I believe Drillbur will also be a level 1 next week. It's on all the infographics that it will be down as a level 1. So hopefully you can get out and do these by yourself. You won't have to commit to trying to get a community together to help you do them. Hopefully you can do them by yourself. And then we'll have to see how the months and weeks ahead go and how difficult we tend to make these. Whether you'll have to organise a community meetup every Monday similar to a raid hour, or whether you'll just be able to take these down on your own if you're remaining level 1s or level 3s potentially. I know quite a few people now can solo those Beldums, especially after, or if you're lucky enough to obtain those Gigantamax Pokemon, you may be able to get through those Beldums, and level 3 Dynamax is okay now. So just a minute away now before we start seeing these Dynamaxes change, hopefully, and we can set about doing this brand new event on Pokemon for the first time and see how well it goes. And we'll obviously leave our sort of feedback on it at the end as well. Mamoswine off the daily incense, not bad at all. So it is 6 o'clock now, so hopefully after we've caught this Mamoswine, we'll be able to see the changes. So no changes as of yet. We'll just wait and see what happens. So we'll start heading over to, there you go. So one has appeared and it has got a 59-minute timer on it. So 59 minutes, not the typical raid hour timer where it's 25 minutes and then you have to wait 5 minutes before another 25-minute timer raid appears. It is 59 minutes, so it's effectively the old-fashioned sort of raid hour system. One Dynamax battle for the hour, and as you can see there, all of them have popped here. So we'll head over to this closest one, and then we'll walk around the loop and get those 4 there. But you can see, and I believe there's a couple more down, further down the bottom there. So we'll try and get to as many as we can. But hopefully the audio quality has improved a little bit. Now we're into a bit of a better signal zone. Hopefully it's improved. But just let me know in the comments down below if it is still struggling a little bit. We'll probably come back to that one. We're just next to a busy road at the moment in time, so we'll probably come back to that one in a minute. We'll head down to this one at first. And then we'll head over to those 2 and loop back round for this one over here. Might be able to reach it now, actually. Yes, we can. So we'll jump in that. And ready straight up. Now, the good thing about these Dynamax battles is that you can ready up straight away. It's not like a raid lobby that you have to wait until 90 seconds, so you have to wait 30 seconds before you can actually ready up. You can actually just hit that ready button straight away, which is really, really good, especially if you all wanted to solo these. The one little downside to these Dynamax battles that I've always found being an issue is that no matter how quick you manage to get Charmander or whatever the Dynamax Pokemon is, no matter how quick you manage to damage him, you always have to Dynamax. You never get an option like you do, for instance, on a raid, where you get an option whether you want to use your charge attack yet. You always have to Dynamax. So that always tends to take a bit longer to defeat it just because of a Dynamax animation and so on. But let's see how good this first one is that we defeated. So we won't leave any Pokemon behind. 5,000 XP, that's definitely a good thing about these. 543, so 560 is a hundo. 543, not too bad. Could have been worse. But wasn't shiny. Now, I don't know whether these shiny odds are boosted during this hour event. I doubt it. But there's a bit of unconfirmed reports about the shiny odds. Some are saying it's 1 in 64. To me, that seems a bit too low. Definitely don't think it's 1 in 64. Potentially 1 in 128 odds for these. I don't think they're full on this one. We have got quite a nice little loop around here where we've got 4 of them quite close together, so hopefully it won't take us long to get around these 4. And then we've got a little bit of a walk down to 1 or 2 more down at the bottom. Well, again, we managed to get to a charge move that time around. But unfortunately, we still got to Dynamax, even though we did get to a charge move. As you can see, only a little bit of health left there on the Charmander. So unlike normal raids, you can't see a CP countdown when you defeat these. You do have to just skip straight through when you go to the catch screen. So no shiny. 553, not bad at all, really. Probably a 93, something around that mark on the IDs. Let's have a quick look. Jump down the first ball. Still jumping out. So let me know in the comments down below, what is your most favourite Dynamax Pokemon you've met below. Still jumping out. There we go, we've managed to catch it now. So let's just see how good this one is. It is a 93, 15, 14, 13 there, so missing 1 off of defense and 2 off of HP. Not a bad one at all, really, with it having 15 attack. Not too bad at all. So we've got 30, getting my head taken off by a tree. We've got 33 more seconds left on our daily incense, or 25 now, after that tree attacked me. So we'll just walk up here a little bit, just to see what spawns on this last incense spawn. There we go, Hoppip. So we're not too interested in Hoppip. We'll jump straight in on this next Dynamax Charmander. And we'll start walking around to the next one as well. The only downside I would say to this feature at the moment is that you can obviously only obtain 800 in a day, 800 max particles, meaning that realistically you can only do 3 or 4 each day for free. Now, if you save your max particles from the day before, potentially you could double that to around 6 or 8, and you'd then do 6 or 8 of these on this Max Monday. But if you are chasing that shiny or a good one, and how fast they are to take down, it would be nice to see an increase on that 3 max particles. But I suppose Niantic aren't going to increase that because there's less likelihood that people are then going to buy them and try and get more money out of people. Is obviously Niantic's game and all this. But 530, not a very good one. So we'll probably keep the cap as it is, but it will be a shame to see, well, it will be interesting to see what happens when the likes of a 3-star Dynamax come round. If they do put those on the Max Monday, then obviously they're going to be 400 max particles to take down each time. So it will be interesting to see, because that also limits you then to around about 3 or 4, depending on if you saved the max particles from the day before. So that is going to be a bit of a feature. But so far so good. It's not too bad of a feature as long as you've saved up your power spots from yesterday. That's definitely something I'd recommend. Save up those from yesterday. Now we have got 600 left, so we could probably do 2 more. We can do this one and another one before having to spend any coins on them, which I'm not too fussed about doing this time round. Potentially for Drillbur I will do, with it being a brand new one next weekend, being released during that simply groundbreaking event that'll last mainly just for a weekend, from around about Thursday to Monday, or potentially Friday to Tuesday. I'll have to just check the dates on that one. But it does only last for around about 4 days, that simply groundbreaking event. And it is mainly just all about the release of Dynamax Drillbur. Now, Dynamax Drillbur is definitely one that you need to try and get your hands on if you can. Try and get yourself a good one if you can as well, that you don't mind powering up, because it will be the best counter against the toxicity, which will be coming out during the Go Wild area. And it will be by far the best counter that we've had so far. We haven't had a ground type in Dynamax at this moment in time, and Drillbur, or Excadrill, its evolved form, is a really, really good ground type as well. So that's probably the reason why we've pushed this, is so that people can at least get their hands on a counter before going into toxicity, and then people won't complain that we've not managed to get any counters or build up squads for those Dynamax battles that appear during Wild area. So that's probably the reason we're bringing that out. But it is a really, really nice one. And of course, if you do manage to get yourself a shiny, it is a super nice shiny as well. 259 Pichu. Unfortunately, going in the bin. Keep hatching these 2Ks, trying to find ourselves a shiny Tyrogue. Unfortunately, does not seem to want to sparkle. Still a shiny I'm after. So this is a 4th Dynamax Charmander. Caught 3 so far. 2 not too bad. 1 was a lot worse, 530 CP. Like I say, the Hundos are at 560. Well, it is 560, should I say. But again, super easy to take down. You don't even really need to have maxed anything out to take these down. You can do it with a very low CP Pokemon. So don't worry about maxing things out or powering anything up for this. It won't help you too much with it being a level 1 Dynamax battle. So let's see how good this one is. With 5,000 there, and the Rare Candy XL is really nice. 522, even worse than the last one. 530 we had before, 522, that is very, very bad indeed. Yeah, absolutely terrible. Obviously 10, 10, 10 is the lowest you can get off this, and it is a 10, 11, 12, so 10, 10, 10 must be around about with 515 CP, something like that, I would hazard a guess. But that is absolutely terrible. It's in fact going straight in the bin. Now, another thing to also mention and to remember about these Dynamax is that they aren't special trades. You can just trash trade them. So if you and a friend went out on a Max Monday and ended up getting loads of bad ones, then you can just keep them for trading or trading between you. And you can try and get yourself a better one that way. So they are trash tradable. Unlike the Gigantamax, which are a special trade, although I tried to do a Gigantamax trade yesterday during the community day. It was, of course, Mankey Community Day yesterday. If you've not already seen the results video, make sure to go check that out after this on how I managed to get on during Mankey Community Day yesterday. But I did try to trade a Gigantamax Gengar with somebody light for light just to see if we can get a better one, with us having that additional special trade yesterday during the community day. Tried to use that to trade a Gigantamax Gengar, and it came up with this weird trading error. Wouldn't let me select it. When you went down, it was blacked out, and when you clicked on a Gigantamax Gengar, it just came up with this weird error, something I've not seen before, just basically saying that this Pokemon could not be selected for trading. Sort of similar to the mythical message, but not worded the same. So whether they've turned the trading off for a Gigantamax, maybe it was an error, maybe it was a fault, maybe people were getting more good ones than normal off for trading. I'm not too sure. Hopefully it's something we're going to turn back on, because I've got quite a few Gigantamax Gengar that I'd like to lucky trade to get a better one. It was definitely not one that was nice to me during that Gigantamax weekend that we had last weekend. Gigantamax Gengar was, although eventually it did sparkle on the 20th raid, or the 20th battle, should I say. It did eventually sparkle for us. Unfortunately, I managed to obtain none of the 22 that I managed to obtain during that weekend were any good on the stats. The best probably an 89 IV, so really, really rubbish in terms of stats, but quite happy to have shiny one. So we've done the 4 that have appeared around here. We'll head down now to where I believe Campfire was telling us that there is some more down here, so we'll head down this way. We'll just see how long these people have been on this gym for. 6 hours, so we'll leave them on a little bit longer just to get their coins for today. Now I can see another Dynamax Charmander down there. We'll head down that way now. Like I say, this will probably be our last one of these today, just with how many max particles we've got. We've got 350, so unfortunately we can't obtain our walking ones because we've already reached the 800 limit. It does make me laugh how the limit you can hold is 1,000 max particles, but the amount you can earn a day is only 800. It's a little bit annoying. I know you can actually obtain up to around about 1080 on those max particles if you are quite clever in how you obtain them. The trick behind that is to obtain your walking ones in the morning. So for instance, if you've walked the 2k the day previous and can't claim it like I have today, then you can do your walking ones. I believe there's a route around here. We'll just start this route as we're on the way. So you can obtain your 2 kilometer walking one, so that's 300. And then the trick behind it is to only spin and collect off 4 power spots the max particles that appear when you click on them. Collect 4, so you can obtain 120 off spot. So 4 times that is 480. So by that stage, including the 2 kilometer walking ones of 300, you've obtained 780 max particles. And then if you do another 2k walking, because you're still under the 800 threshold by a factor of 20 max particles, when you've done the 2k walking, you can claim that and it will top you up 300 max particles again, meaning that you obtained 1080, even though the limit is only 800. So that is a way to get the most max particles in a day. Even though the limit is 800, you can actually obtain 1080. But of course, you can only hold on to 1000. But by doing that method, you will actually go over the 1000 as well. So that's definitely the best way to obtain the most for free. And that also means that instead of collecting just 800 and hitting that 800 mark, meaning you can only do 3 of these level 1 Dynamax battles, obviously each of them costing 250, 3 times that would be 750, and therefore you wouldn't be able to do an extra one if you had only 800. But instead you'll be at 1080, meaning that you could do 4 of these Dynamax battles for free. And then obviously if you're clever enough and you do that on the Sunday, use them on Max Monday, and then during Max Monday try and obtain another 1080, then you can end up doing 8 Dynamax battles of the level 1s for completely free. So that is definitely the best way to get the most amount of max battles for free. So definitely try and remember that heading to next week for Drillbur, where the amount you can do will definitely be better, with it being, like I mentioned before, the first ground type Dynamax Pokemon we've had, and by far the best counter for the Dynamax and Gigantamax Toxicity, which will be released during the wild area. I've annoyingly got a stone in my shoe, so just bear with me just a second. I'll get that out. There we go. So heading down to this next Dynamax, and it's quite nice actually. It looks like that's the only one down this way. Potentially there's another one a bit further down when I checked Campfire before, but we only need one for today before we run out of the free ones. But I do wonder whether, obviously this is the first Max Monday event we've done, I do wonder whether in time they will change it so that more rural areas can perhaps take advantage and do more max battles. They could probably entice more revenue by doing that, by doing a similar format to a raid hours where it has 25-minute timers. It means those that are in rural areas like myself here, we're in an area where we can only see 5 power spots in total. And if it had 25-minute timer, for instance, if it was Drillbur, something that I really wanted, I'd definitely be investing more max particles in the game after the free ones had run out. Then it could mean that I could do 10 Drillburs in the hour, and therefore more revenue for Niantic instead of just doing these 5. So I wonder if that is something they'll revisit after these first few weeks and change. But at the moment, it's a really, really nice feature. Obviously, the XP of 5,000 per battle, with how easy they are to take down as well, and how quick they are to defeat. It really, really is nice, that is. Now, I do wonder what sort of level toxicity will be when it comes out as a Dynamax. Probably up there as a level 4 or a level 5 even, potentially. I doubt it's going to be a level 3 the same as Beldum. I would definitely think it's a lot higher than that. So potentially a level 5 Dynamax. Won't be as hard as a Gigantamax hopefully, but we'll have to wait and see how many trainers we need to take that down. Potentially some community sort of coordination to bring enough people together to do it. But obviously it's only a couple of weeks away now. The Go Wild area, again, another brand new event that Pokemon have released. After all the infographics I've read on the Go Wild area, it does look to be a really good event, mainly around the raids and the battles and the Dynamax, more so than the wild spawns. Obviously, we have got those increased shiny chances if you brought a ticket of the wild spawns, but the wild spawns don't seem to be much to shout home about. There is a lot of stuff there that we've already had featured in previous Go Fest or previous events where it's been shiny boosted, for example, community days and stuff like that. So there is a lot of repeats, but obviously if you're quite new to the game, then it is a really, really good event and to catch up with other years now. But probably the best sort of feature we brought out is obviously these alpha Pokemon, which are an increased chance of being extra large, an increased chance of being shiny as well. So, and also an increased chance of having better stats as well. So hopefully you can land on some of those alpha shiny Pokemon and manage to get some decent ones. The sort of the spawn pool for those alpha Pokemon is actually really decent. Mammal Swines are part of it, as well as some other really cool evolution Pokemon. So there is some really cool Pokemon to have in the wild, but it is probably an event mainly around the battle side of things, the Dynamax, the Gigantamax toxicity that we've spoken about, and then also the raids that are going to be featured over the weekend. We have the likes of Dialga and Palkia origin forms appearing back. We have Zacian and Zeromazenta again appearing for that weekend. So there's going to be loads of level 5 raids to be taken down. So we'll jump into this last Charmander, and then we'll just head up and finish this route off. And then we'll have a little bit of a discussion about how we feel about this event, this brand new event, on the way back. And then we'll be finishing the live shortly after that. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about this event. Hopefully you've enjoyed tuning in. So this is our Gigantamax Blastoise, our shiny 96 that we managed to obtain during the first weekend of the Gigantamax battles before we made them a bit easier for the Gengar release. Super happy to get that 96 shiny Blastoise instant maxed out to level 50. So we won't place anything on the power spot again. Again, placing something on the power spot does take up a gym position. So if you're adding on gyms for your 50 coins, you are only allowed 20 Pokemon on gyms at any one time. And your power spot places will also take up a position of that. So if you have 4 or 5 on power spots, then means you can only put 15 or 16 on gyms. Now, obviously, those in city areas that struggle to get on gyms, obviously that won't mind too much. But myself in more rural areas, when I'm on a gym, I tend to last there for a few days, annoyingly. So some days I won't get my coins, mainly because that gym is quite rural and people find it hard to get to, and it doesn't really change hands that often. Whereas obviously in cities and big towns, you do get kicked off them quite quickly, meaning that you do manage to get your coins quite quickly as well, which is a decent thing. Although if you are working on gym badges, it is quite hard to obtain that gold gym badge by being in those places. But that is the last one, 540 on the Dynamax Charmander there. So we'll just finish this route and then we'll walk across the park, just discuss this feature. Now, will we get another Zygarde cell at the end of this? We have. There we go. Zygarde cell at the end of the route. We're working on Beldum as well as our buddy, and this will give us another 2 hearts, being that we've poffined this Beldum. So there we go, we can complete a route. I think we will actually walk back the same way we've come. A little bit more lit up. A little more lighting there with the street lights over the road, so we'll go down this way again, the same way we came. So that is our first Max Monday on Pokemon Go. Obviously, people have referred on Pokemon Go to Max Monday for quite a while now on different social medias as a Monday of which you max out a Pokemon up to level 50. And Max Monday now has got a little bit of a different meaning behind it. This brand new event which Niantic have released is quite decent, in fact. Not too bad at all, especially if you keep bringing out better and better Dynamax Pokemon. Obviously, I don't think the shiny odds are increased for this hour. It's probably a bit similar to a raid hour where there's no increased chance of shiny, not like a raid day or anything like that. So it's probably same sort of mechanics as a raid hour. The shiny will remain its similar odds, of which we probably speculate to be around about 1 in 128 for these. That is the going rate for the mega raids. So I would say Dynamax are probably around about the same sort of odds. In 117 Dynamax Ghastly raids, I only obtained 1 shiny, so I would hazard a guess that that shiny rate is in 128, unless anybody can correct me in the comments below. So going from that, you're probably going to, well, you're going to be quite lucky to obtain a shiny in this hour with shiny rate. But it is a decent chance to get a really, really good one and to have multiple chances of getting a good one or a shiny one. And also with it being like a raid hour, every single power spot gets taken over by this Pokemon. So for instance, again, I'll refer back to Drillbur, something that's really, really going to be useful as a Dynamax Pokemon. It means that they are going to be really easy to find during this hour. Any power spot that's around near you will turn into a Drillbur next week, just like they have today with Charmander. And it means that you don't have to go far and wide and try to find your way around specific power spots, which is what some people have been doing over these last few weeks and months since they've been released. It means that you won't have to do that too much on a Monday. You can just wait till 6 o'clock and then get around as fast as you can to the ones near you and try and defeat as many as you can in that hour. Now, the going rate, obviously mine, the first 4 were quite close together. We managed to rattle off those first 4 within around about 15-20 minutes. So if you go off a base of around about 3 to 5 minutes per battle, you could probably manage to obtain around about 12 of these in an hour if you have got the power spots around you, potentially more depending on how you're traveling. If you've got somebody driving you, etc., you could probably attain more. Depending again how much you want this, you will have to add more particles on the game if you are going to do that many. But it is a really, really good feature. Obviously the XP drop as well, it's definitely a feature you could put a luck egg on and try and do it. Hey Daniel, thanks so much for joining. But it's definitely a feature that you could probably put a lucky egg on and try and do as well. But really, really good first outing on Pokemon Go. Next week's very for Drillbur. Hopefully we can bring that to you. But we'll have to wait and see. I am on holiday next week, so potentially I'll have to see how easy it is going to be to get to those Dynamax battles while I'm on holiday, but we'll wait and see on that. We might just have to pick up the Dynamax Drillbur while I'm out and about throughout the weekend during those 4 days that it is featured. And we'll also have to wait and see if it remains on Dynamax battles after those 4 days, similar to how Ghastly sort of remained around even after the Halloween event had finished. I do wonder whether I'll leave Dynamax Drillbur in the pool, what sort of reduce the likelihood of it catching, the likelihood of it appearing, sorry. No way, you got a glaring Articuno shiny. Big congrats. That is absolutely awesome. Out of all of them, I'd say the glaring Articuno is definitely well underrated as a shiny. It is a super, super nice shiny. I saw somebody with a shiny glaring Articuno as a buddy the other day when I went to go send them a gift, and it was a super, super nice shiny. So big congrats on that, Dan. But yeah, that has been the Max Monday of today. Obviously we've not done all the event, mainly because we've only got 5 Dynamax battles around here, but obviously of course as well we've ran out of the 3 max particles. Yeah, definitely get buddy in that, mate. Definitely. But we did manage to obtain a Hundo Dynamax Charmander the other day. So this was obtained a couple of days ago now, 3 days ago. And we managed to get this. And I've just got it as Charmeleon at this moment in time. I'm sort of waiting to see if Charizard can learn Blast Burn during the December Community Day. That's the Community Day where we get a repeat of quite a few things that have spawned. Now, I can't remember if the Charmander was on a Classic Community Day either this year or last year, but normally we get the moveset of stuff that has appeared over the last 2 years now in the December Community Day. So hopefully we can get Blast Burn on that Charizard during this. And to be honest, I don't think so. It's definitely worth sort of waiting. Last year was it? Thanks very much for that. But hopefully that means we can also obtain that blast burn move like we're saying. It normally means in the last, whatever's appeared on a community day in the last 2 years, we can hopefully get the move set for it. But we'll have to wait to see. It's definitely worth just waiting a month. If it was early on in the year, then I would definitely have evolved it and probably elite charge TM'd it by now. But we'll just hang on a minute and just wait until next month for the December community day, and hopefully we could obtain that for free. But that is the first Max Monday on Pokemon Go that we've managed to do. Again, really good event. It's going to be very interesting next week with a brand new Dynamax Pokemon, so make sure to try and do that yourselves. Like I say, best counter for the Dynamax and Gigantamax Toxicity that is coming out during the wild area. So definitely try and get your hands on a decent Drillbur. Hopefully you can get a shiny one as well. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this Max Monday event. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the live stream today. Make sure you hit a like on the video and smash that subscribe button. Thanks to everybody who's already hit that subscribe button. We are well over 1,000 subscribers now, which is absolutely amazing. Something I didn't think we'd manage to achieve this year, right at the start of this year. So big shout out to everybody who's hit that subscribe button. And thanks everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.